Welcome to this new video on Ford Horizon 6, in which I'm bringing you some gameplay with the Koenigsegg Agera RS, which is a new free car, since up until now the only way to get this car was to buy it through the car showroom. As I showed you, this Koenigsegg Agera RS is quite an expensive car. You'll have to pay 2,800,000 credits for it. But actually, since the week of June 4th, 2026, you can unlock this car for free in Ford Horizon 6 by completing the logbook, in the Japan Discovery section, and in the General Discovery section. So far, since winter hasn't come to Ford Horizon 6, this challenge couldn't be completed. You just need to play the game during winter. And, as long as we hadn't completed this challenge, we couldn't get the last reward in the Discovery section, which is actually the Koenigsegg Agera RS, for free. So otherwise, the rest of these little missions are discovery missions for the map. Personally, I never tried to seek them out or complete them, and it just finished on its own. Most of these places, you'll go through them during different missions in Ford Horizon 6. No grinding needed. It'll happen naturally. Gradually, you'll unlock this Koenigsegg for free. I'll show some gameplay with it. Since it's a hypercar, a car that's really powerful and very fast, we're going to test it on the Equinox to see a bit of what it's capable of. Time-wise, compared to the other cars in the game, let's see if maybe it's a good car. On the straight and in the corners, I'll show you the interior. I never realized the steering wheel is flat at the bottom. Probably because the car is so low you need space for your legs. But actually, there are a lot of little details like the car's pedals being shaped like the Koenigsegg logo, carbon fiber everywhere, and Alcantara on the steering wheel. On the right, I think that was a fire extinguisher on the floor. We also have the small movable wing at the back, so it can move and change angle depending on whether you're in speed mode or grip mode. What they've done is cool. Here are new details. Let's see if it performs well, not just looks nice. Let's go test its stock, knowing that in stock form, I don't think it's such an amazing car. Well, I think in a straight line, yes, it's going to be a monster in pure acceleration too. But I think this is a car that will really need tuning and upgrades, especially the tires, to be easier to handle. Because right now, it's actually a car that's extremely powerful. Stock. It's a car that has over 1,300 horsepower. And it's also pretty light, 1,350 kilos. And it's rear-wheel drive. So really, all the power's at the back of the car. That's stylish. When you brake, you have the air brake with the little spoiler that tilts forward. That's pretty cool. It's a nice little detail. But actually, it's a car with a lot of power. That's very light. And all the power goes through the rear wheels. So unfortunately, it's a car that tends to slide a lot, at least in stock form. I hope with the upgrades, it'll be a bit better. Knowing that this car is based on the regular Agera, this is the Agera RS, and this car is really the counterpart. Let's say it's the straight-line acceleration version of the Agera. At the time, Koenigsegg made two special Agera versions. They made the one version, which is, let's say, really not the track version, because it's a car that is street legal. Even for aerodynamics, the Koenigsegg 1 was really optimized to handle well, simply to be good in corners. The Agera RS is kind of the opposite, actually. Back then, they did everything to optimize that car so it could reach a really high top speed and, have a lot of acceleration. So that gives you a car that really performs extremely well in a straight line. As you saw, we went over 400 without much trouble. On the other hand, it also makes the car really hard to drive, honestly. Originally, it's clearly not easy, that's just how it is, so I think with the right settings we'll be able to fix a lot of those problems. But as you know, on Ford Horizon 6, hypercars are less fun to drive than before, the cars that are going to be the most interesting. In the end, it's the track cars, the time attack cars, that are really incredible monsters in the game. For the simple reason that the map leaves less room for straight lines and more room for corners. So, obviously, hypercars are a little less interesting, except on the highway, of course, where they're still the best. You see, as soon as you accelerate just a little bit, even if the car is on a pretty clean line, it instantly loses grip. And we did 235, 235. What does that mean in terms of lap time? Well, that's good. If it's good, it's just behind the YSK from Koenigsegg and just ahead of the AMG 1. So actually, that's not bad. I thought we were really going to get a terrible lap time, but actually, it's okay. We're going to look at the upgrades for the swap, and I'm not sure if that's really useful. We'll see about that later. Maybe one of these engines has more power than the one we currently have. By the way, let's check something, because here I see the twin turbo, the single turbo. We have 1,400 horsepower, and with the twin turbo, do we get more or not? No. Okay, That's one of the few cars in the game where the single turbo gives more power than the twin turbo. It happens. That's how it is. We won't see a big straight line gain since the car was already very powerful. This won't change much. I hope we'll see a big difference in the rest of the car since it's already good in a straight line. That's it. It's good. No need to do better now. That's what might matter. It's because we're on sport tires. That's why it sucks. That's why it has no grip. It's because it has sports car tires, not tires for really high-powered cars, so that should change a lot. But it seems really high to me, even though we already have racing suspension. Let's go with our improved and tuned Agera RS. I think we should see a big difference in lap times. What will also help a lot later, I think, is potentially the engine swap if even more power is possible. Or maybe switching to all-wheel drive. Because with all-wheel drive, well, in all these situations, in tight corners where the car spins its wheels and we struggle. Well, that just won't happen anymore, but for now, I think we already have a better base. You can still feel that the car is easier to handle, you can feel that it still accelerates well, and you can feel that we're going to get a better lap time. Maybe not by much, but still a little. But the car is still hard to drive. Anyway, hypercars in this game are harder to drive than in Horizon 5. That's how it is, and honestly, it's maybe more realistic than what we had back in the days of Horizon 5. You see, there, we just gave a tiny bit of gas and instantly the car lost grip. There was nothing we could do. It's pretty crazy. Well, it's not a big deal anyway, because where it's always going to be good for saving time is on the straight line, where we might hit 440 kilometers per hour, you know? We've got a gearbox that's geared a little differently here. We could still reach high top speed here, even with a lot of aero downforce. In any case, the aero setup is really optimized for handling. It's fine, 430, and maybe with a downhill 440. So it's not bad at all, you know? Let's not kid ourselves. Yeah, in the corners, way better than earlier. Now, yeah, it's obvious, especially in that turn. Earlier, I really had to slow down a lot. Now, we're going through at a much higher speed, so it's way better. Even though I think there's still work to do on the settings to fix other things. Phew, whoa, yeah, it's still slipping a bit, ahahaha. It's still good, it's fine. And this car is also kind of a little nod to Fast and Furious 4. This car was the first DLC car in Ford Horizon 4. Back then, the game didn't have it by default. It was the first DLC car in the Car Pass for Ford Horizon 4. And by the way, maybe the only good car in the Car Pass, because after that in Horizon 4 they only added junk cars. Honestly, we ended up with just cars that were total crap. So yeah, it was the first good car in the Car Pass for Ford Horizon 4, and maybe not the last, but close. So it's cool to get it back now. Updated with some new little details and everything that comes with it in Horizon 6. Still, we're going to save quite a bit of time, even if the car is damn hard to drive. Still 225. So where does that place us in the upgraded car rankings? Puff, it's puff. It's okay. It's just behind the YSK too, so well, apparently no big surprise at this point, right? So let's take a look at them. See if there's a swap among those available that could be more interesting. But I still have some doubts. I think this is an engine from an old Koenigsegg. The advantage of less powerful swaps is that sometimes it lets you move the car down a class. For example, if this car was originally an S2, I don't remember if that's the case, but maybe with a less powerful swap. Potentially, you can move the car down to S1, and potentially that could make it interesting to use, but really, it depends on the situation. So here, we tested the first swap. It wasn't very interesting. For those who really want the absolute maximum, this one. Well, let's see, right? Maybe a bit more power at the end with the big turbo we'll install. In any case, we're not going to be far off. Yeah, 1,402 horsepower. We're going to get a bit more. It's not by much, but we still have a little more. We're obviously putting on the all-wheel drive, right? Well, here we go then, with the all-wheel drive version. We'll see if we get a better time, but honestly, I think that's going to be the case. I mean, we can't do worse, actually, in terms of grip than what we just had. So now, normally, you see, the number one advantage is that we'll be able to come out of the corners, accelerate like crazy, and the car won't lose grip too much. It does understeer a bit, but that's fine. We'll get used to it. After a few kilometers, I think. And then the other advantage is that, strangely enough, well, I think this will often be the case, I also noticed this with Forza Horizon 6. Something I didn't necessarily notice on Forza Horizon 5. With all-wheel drive cars, you convert a rear-wheel drive car to all-wheel drive. With all-wheel drive, they have more acceleration. Well, sorry, not more acceleration, more top speed. That's what's a bit surprising, though the difference isn't huge, you know? Sometimes it's just 1 or 2 kilometers per hour more, but you see, I think we're going to hit 440 here. Earlier, we were stuck at 430 before the climb, so I'm not sure if the straight will be long enough for that. But that's how it is on Ford Horizon 6. Putting on 4-wheel drive boosts the top speed. It's a bit strange. You see, we're getting a bit more here, but it's really close, just 1 or 2 kilometers per hour difference. Wow, but man, I was looking at the speedometer, not the turn. But it does seem better than the YSK, so we'll see the final time, but it's true. The YSK, they didn't make a very good car. Actually, in Horizon 6, in Horizon 5 at least, it had the merit of being super fast in a straight line. It wasn't amazing in turns, but it was okay there. In Horizon 6, they ruined its top speed, really. It only goes 460, whereas in Horizon 5, it could reach 500. Sorry, and now, on top of that, they made its handling really bad. Usually the YSK, despite being expensive and legendary, is disappointing, while I think the Agera will actually outperform the YSK. In the end, as for the time, here we go. We'll see that in a few moments, but I think we're going to get a time, in the end that's pretty close, even though the YSK had like 400 more horsepower. Well, not 400, sorry, 200. But still, that's quite a difference. You see, we did a little 220.19, so what does that give us time-wise? Well, you see, we're just ahead. Well, just ahead. We're 3 seconds ahead of the YSK anyway, so that's not bad. We're only about 1.5 seconds behind the Agera, so that's not too bad. In the end, once it's well improved and well tuned, it's not such a big piece of junk after all, even if it's not exactly an absolutely monstrous car either. Before we finish this video, since this car is known for its top speed, I suggest we go test the car in a straight line, at top speed. So, let's go for a little VMAX test right now. Just a reminder, if you enjoy this kind of video, you can show it by giving it a like. Also, subscribe for the next ones, and we're asking you to follow on Twitch for the upcoming live streams. I regularly do Twitch streams on Horizon 6, but also on a bunch of other games as well. Follow and use your Prime. It's appreciated. Check the link to my channel in this video. You can buy games cheaper and support the channel at the same time. Alright, let's get started. Let's see how it goes. Maybe it'll be better than the YSK too. You never know. We're definitely going to hit 400. We'll even get there very easily, no doubt about it. And just with the gearing, maybe we went through the gears a bit too earlier. Alright, I see that we can almost go up to 9,000. 450 is confirmed. But not more than that at 450. I don't know, it seems to me it was faster than that, I think, on Horizon 5. Well, it's still a rocket, but it's a car that has been downgraded quite a bit compared to Horizon 5, simply put. Anyway, it's free, so don't hesitate to go unlock it for free. Just log in while it's winter and you'll get it, simple as that. Alright, see you soon for a new video, bye.